What's up YouTube, it's me, Topher Crost, here to do another top 10 Yu-Gi-Oh! Support cards list. Last time, I did a video on top 10 Dark Magician support cards, and you know, if you do a video on Dark Magician, you have to do the same for the BlueEyes White Dragon. But before I begin, I just wanted to say a few things. First, this list only includes cards directly related to the BlueEyes archetype. That means there won't be any Return of the Dragon Lords or number 107s on this list, only BlueEyes cards. Secondly, all the cards on this list are neck and neck. All the cards are amazing for BlueEyes decks on this list and my personal opinion of what's best. If you disagree, I encourage you to post your own top 10 list down in the comments below. And lastly, make sure to watch my top 10 Dark Magician support cards list and subscribe to my channel to join the community. So without further ado, let's begin counting down the top 10 BlueEyes White Dragon support cards. Starting off this countdown at number 10 is Maiden with the Eyes of Blue. This card is one of the most annoying cards to contend with if you're facing a BlueEyes deck. But if you're playing a BlueEyes deck, this card is a lot of fun to watch your opponent try to figure out their way around. If your opponent targets Maiden with the Eyes of Blue with a spell, or trap, or effect, or decides they want an attacker, you can summon a BlueEyes White Dragon straight from your hand, deck, or graveyard. And if it was an attack, it gets negated entirely. Maiden with the Eyes of Blue is also a tuner, so she's great for setting up synchro plays. Her biggest downside is the fact that her effect can only be used once, which is why she only got number 10 on this list. But nonetheless, she is an amazing card which you may just want to throw in your deck. Coming in at number 9 is the White Stone of Legend. First off, this tuner really helps set up synchros, but its effect, while simple, makes this card shine. If White Stone of Legend is put into the graveyard from anywhere, you get to put a BlueEyes from your deck to your hand. Considering how easy that is to achieve using cards like Dragon Shrine or Melody of Awakening Dragon, it makes getting a BlueEyes in your hand a cinch. Which is vital when you need a level 8 monster in your hand for something like Trade-In, for example, or to help with some other cards we have later on this list. Now it's time to talk about the most powerful card on this list, BlueEyes Chaos Max Dragon. This card is amazing, starting out with a huge 4,000 attack points and it only gets better. It also can't be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects, but that's still not all this card has to offer. If it attacks a defense position monster, you get to inflict double piercing battle damage on your opponent. That means if your adversary has a card with 0 defense, you'll do 8,000 damage. This card is very useful in a BlueEyes deck because in a lot of cases it forces your opponent to play in attack mode, meaning all your high-powered dragons get to do life point damage. Now, I know what you're thinking. If BlueEyes Chaos Max Dragon is so good, why is it only at number 8? Two reasons. One, because of its 0 defense points, but the main reason is due to the fact that it can only be ritual summoned to get out. Unless you build a deck around Chaos Max Dragon, it won't be that consistent. That being said, I would definitely recommend building a deck around 3 of these bad boys. Next up on the list, we have my number 7 pick, Dragon Spirit of White. This card is great for a few reasons. First, he is always considered a BlueEyes monster, which means he's searchable or summoned by cards such as White Stone of Ancients. Second, he is also a level 8 monster, which is good for cards like Trade-In, also good for setting up XYZ plays. Thirdly, he is a normal monster while not on the field, making cards like Dragon Shrine work effectively well with him. Fourth, if your opponent controls a monster card, you can use Dragon Spirit of White as a special summon tribute for BlueEyes White Dragon straight from your hand on either player's turn, which makes him a lot more recyclable. And lastly, when Dragon Spirit of White is summoned, you can banish one spell or trap card on your opponent's side of the field. Whew, that's a lot of awesome in one card. On to the next one. Now we get into some synchro monsters with BlueEyes Spirit Dragon. A very easy card to get out in a BlueEyes deck, it probably won't be on the field long, and that's the point. Once this card is on the field, neither player can special summon 2 or more monsters at the same time. But it doesn't stop there, as it has 2 other effects that happen on either player's turn, and that's where this card really shines. The first effect lets you use BlueEyes Spirit Dragon to negate a graveyard effect at any time. But the real reason this card is number 6 on this list is its final effect, which allows you to tribute BlueEyes Spirit Dragon at any time to summon a light dragon type synchro monster from the graveyard. For instance, Moonlight Rose Dragon or Ancient Fairy Dragon. The only downside to this effect is at the end of the turn, the monster you summon gets destroyed, but that isn't a problem for the next card on this list. Now onto the card most people will be summoning with the effect of Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Introducing Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. This card gets around Spirit Dragon's destroy effect with one of its own. In short, Azure Eyes Silver Dragon is summoned. All dragons on the field you control at the moment it is summoned cannot be destroyed by card effects, which includes Azure Eyes himself, so it doesn't get destroyed by Spirit Eyes effect. But that's not what makes this card so good. Once per turn during your standby phase, you can target a normal monster in your graveyard and place it on the field. This is a great way to get Blue Eyes back, or more importantly, recycle Dragon Spirit of White to banish all those pesky spell and traps your opponent dare place on the field. An amazing card all around, and we still have 4 more to go. Ever think to yourself, man, I wish I could fuse my Blue Eyes White Dragons without polymerization to get a more powerful monster? Well, good news for you, because coming in at our number 4 spot is Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon. Thanks to its effect, all you have to do to summon Blue Eyes Twin Burst is to send 2 Blue Eyes to the graveyard. No fusion cards needed. Now I know what you're thinking, why would I trade in my 2 Blue Eyes for a monster with the same attack and defense points? I would lose out on an attack, right? And the answer is, kinda. You can attack twice as long as it's against monsters, but not directly. But what makes this card so awesome is the other parts of its effect. It can't be destroyed by battle, and to top it off, if you attack an opponent's monster and it isn't destroyed by battle, you can banish it. That means if you attack a card with higher attack, or a card that can't be destroyed by battle, it gets banished. Easy to get out and can mow through almost anything. It's the perfect offensive monster. Coming in at number 3 is one of 2 tuners that are a must-play in any Blue Eyes deck. The first of which is Sage with the Eyes of Blue. This is the tuner you want to have in your opening hand. When you normal summon Sage with the Eyes of Blue, you get to pull a level 1 light tuner monster from your deck and put it into your hand. This could be anything from Whitestone of Legend to Effect Veiler, which sets up good combos. Its second effect is, in my opinion, where it really shines. Sage with the Eyes of Blue's second effect allows you to discard Sage and an effect monster on the field to summon a Blue Eyes monster straight from your deck. That's insane, and can set up other effects such as Whitestone of Legend and our number 2 pick. Coming in at number 2 is another tuner that is a must-play in a Blue Eyes deck, the Whitestone of Ancients. This card is a tuner, but its 2 effects are what make it so awesome. Its first effect allows you to special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon from your deck at the end phase of your turn if Whitestone of Ancients is sent from the grave during the same turn. Doesn't seem like much until you think about how consistent that effect is with the Blue Eyes deck. With cards like Dragon Shrine or Melody of Awakening Dragon, heck, you could even use it in Synchro Summon. It's not hard to trigger the effect. But I am not done. After the Whitestone of Ancients is in the graveyard, you can activate its second effect, which allows you to bring 1 Blue Eyes monster from your grave to your hand as long as you banish Ancients from the grave. You may need a Blue Eyes in your hand for many reasons, such as trade-in, or our number 1 pick, which Ancients can help you do right when you need it.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
That's right, coming in at our number 1 is Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. Hands down the best support for Blue Eyes in my opinion. First off, its name is Blue Eyes White Dragon when it's on the field, meaning you could use cards like Burst Stream of Destruction with it. But it gets better because this card is crazy easy to summon. All you have to do is have a Blue Eyes White Dragon in your hand and reveal it to play alternative, and it counts as a special summon. It's a level 8 light dragon type like Blue Eyes, so it's very easy to pull off XYZ plays and fusion plays that get out cards like Twin Burst or Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And even after all of that, it has one more effect. Once per turn, you can destroy a monster on your opponent's side of the field. The only downside is that you can't attack with Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon that turn. But does it really matter if you're going to use it to summon something else? This card offers so much for a Blue Eyes deck, I would recommend always running at least 2, and in most decks, 3. Well guys, I hope you liked my video. Please like and subscribe to see more videos like this, and comment below letting me know what cards you think are the best for a Blue Eyes deck. Also, if you want me to do another top 10 list, let me know what you'd like me to do a top 10 list on. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Topher Crost out.